Hello and welcome back to Boss Battles of Wraeclast, the somewhat comprehensive guide to the various bosses in Path of Exile 2. In today's episode we are taking on the Rust King, who can be located within the Red Veil, and in order to spawn the Rust King you have to explore the zone and activate these 3 different obelisks of rust. The first 2 you activate will spawn these waves of skeletal archers and warriors, and once you've defeated them, the obelisk will then drop a runic armor piece which you need for a quest. So you aren't able to skip this boss, you do have to kill him, because you need the 3 pieces of runic armor to progress the quest and to make it through to the next zone. Now with the Rust King, you don't have to activate these obelisks in any certain order, it's basically just explore the zone until you find 3 of them, that's pretty much it. The 3rd one will always spawn the boss. Now with this footage I do have to issue a quick apology. This one does not go on for as long as I would like in order to explain all of his abilities properly. The reason why is that my main character has made it to the endgame content, and I have been quite lucky with a lot of leveling unique drops. And one of the ones I'm wearing today, you might have seen it earlier on in the episode footage, is Bramblejack. Now that is an armor base unique which you wear on the chest. You can pretty much wear it from level 1, and the unique ability of Bramblejack is that it reflects 250% of physical damage. So yeah, Bramblejack pretty much does 90% of the DPS for me in this fight, which is not what I was wanting. I completely forgot I was wearing it, and then proceeded to take it off immediately afterwards because I didn't want it killing bosses too quickly for me. This character is supposed to survive rather than kill it quickly, because obviously I need the time to explain the abilities properly. Fortunately enough, the Rust King doesn't have that many different abilities, and a lot of them are quite easy to avoid. They do hit pretty hard though, so make sure that if you do get hit, you've got life flasks, and you have got current level life flasks as well, so at this point you should be using mediums, just in case. Now, the boss point will always have a checkpoint next to it. Here is the Obelisk of Rust. When you click on the obelisk, you'll see a little whirlwind appear, which will be his spawning location. Now, throughout this fight, he'll use a few different abilities with these kind of floating weapons that he's got. Some of them will land in a line, he'll summon it on top of you. So that ability right there. As you can see, because I was blocking, it didn't do that much damage, but still, it still hurts. Another one he'll do is he'll summon a whole bunch out of the ground and slam them down in front of him in a big cone attack. So again, make sure you're strafing to the left or the right, dodge rolling and getting out of the way. Next ability is a ring of swords he summons around his kind of waist area. After a few seconds of channeling, those swords will then fly out from those locations, so make sure you pay attention to which way they're facing so that you can avoid being hit by them. He also has a spawn mechanic, which is he will basically raise his arm up and he'll summon a whole ring of skeletal warriors and archers, so again make sure you take those down and recharge your flasks. He will also use the weapons that he's holding in his hand to swipe at you a couple of times, and then he'll summon a big group of them behind him, which will then slam on the ground in front of him. So one thing to be aware with this fight, majority of his attacks are going to slam on the ground in front of him, so if you see him channeling or charging up an attack, you'll notice from the unique sounds of those attacks that you just dodge roll through the boss, get behind him, and you should be able to avoid the majority of them. But yeah, that is the Rust King. Not a very difficult boss fight, but his abilities do hit pretty hard, so make sure you're avoiding them. And yeah, that's pretty much everything there is to it. After you defeated him, you'll pick up the runed cap and then take that back to town for the quest. So, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.